Good morning, and welcome to episode 24 of Getting Rich. I'm your host, Rich Checkan, president of Asset Strategies International, and today is Wednesday, April 28th, 2021. Over the past week, we saw talk of inflationary pressures continue to build. It's on people's minds, and rightly so. If you look at the raw materials that are used to make end products, they're all rising. Copper over the past week hit a 10-year high. Lumber is, I think, leading the pack in terms of raw materials. Oil is up as well. All of these things will build inflationary pressures because the manufacturers who make end products and use all these commodities and materials to make whatever they sell to the public are getting increased costs of their supplies, and therefore they are eventually, if not already doing so, going to pass those costs on to the end consumer. Expect more on inflation as we move forward, as the economy starts to open up, looking forward to a huge uptick as consumers start getting out and about and spending money on things, okay? One of the benefactors in the precious metals market, you'll see in the pricing here in a bit, are the platinum group metals. Platinum is up for the week. So is palladium in a big way. I think both of these metals, the platinum group metals, are benefiting from all this talk of green expenditures and where the Biden administration wants to take us going forward. So that's positive for the PGM group. Gold and silver lagged a bit this week, so sentiment is still low, but over the past 2 weeks we've seen it starting to build. So my message to you, since gold is still, in my opinion, one of the best, if not the best, inflationary protection devices out there, is to get in. If you don't buy soon, I think you run the risk of getting left behind as gold and silver take off. I want you to consider joining me tomorrow. I'll be in an all-day webinar event with Rick Rule Media. The name of the event is Robinhood, Reddit, and the rise of the retail investor. We're going to cover a lot of topics that are on people's minds, especially when we look at how retail investors are getting more involved in the investment markets and having a much bigger impact. So join me, Rick Rule, Albert Liu, Nick Gimbruno, Doug Casey. I mean, these are all folks you want to hear from as commodities are starting to surge. Their names are synonymous with the resource sector. All you have to do to join us is click on the registration button beneath this video. Let's look at the prices for precious metals this past week. Gold is down slightly, about 0.5%. It went to 1768.20 this morning versus 1779.80 this time last week. Silver is virtually unchanged at 25.95 versus 25.92 last week. Like I said, platinum is up about 2% this week at 12.18 an ounce versus 11.92 last week. And your big winner, once again, pushing ever closer to that $3,000 mark, is palladium. It's up 5% on the week at 29.56 versus 28.18 last week. The dollar, as you can imagine, is cowering in fear in the corner. It dropped from 91.37 last week to 91.03 this week, and it's up this morning to that point, so it's been lower. And your gold-silver ratio is holding steady at 68.36. As always, I'd like you to subscribe to our YouTube channel below this video. Leave us any comments or questions so I can address them on the air, cover them in my commentary. If you go in the description paragraph below, you can open it up and you can follow us, follow Asset Strategies, subscribe to our email alert service and our monthly newsletter service. And please, don't ever forget that getting rich starts with keeping what's yours.